So what's going on, everyone? This is Controller Cramps. Thought I would make a quick video tonight. Kind of a fun video, something really different. A little bit hesitant because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that'll probably consider me a little bit nuts for talking about this. But you know what? That's what YouTube's for. It's good to maybe get this out there and record it at least. And maybe 10, 15 years down the line, I'll want to kind of watch this again and kind of remember what exactly happened and everything. So what I'm going to do tonight is tell you a story about a haunted storage facility that I used to live at. Now, I do that for a living. I'm actually a manager. I've been moving around quite a bit. I've been doing storage since 2004. And back in 2014, I got a gig as a manager of a store in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And at this particular store, they had a basically live-in manager position where you would get a apartment upstairs from the office, and you do maintenance and you do the basic run-of-the-mill managerial duties during the day, and then when you get off, you just go upstairs to your apartment and you can live there. And it was included in the wages, so it was a pretty good gig. But this particular storage facility, I had some really strange experiences there, and that's what this video is about. I just kind of want to go over exactly what happened. Now, you can not believe me. You have the right not to believe me. But at the same time, if you have questions about it or if you want to know more, feel free to leave a comment and I'll be happy to respond to you and kind of give you some more details. But I got to this facility in 2014, and it was during the day. I had a roommate in the apartment. I'm not going to give his actual name or anything. But I was kind of getting briefed. I went to the office and was talking to my co-manager there. And while I was talking to him, I was kind of leaning up against the front desk. I was on the customer side of the desk. He was behind the desk. And I was just kind of talking about, opening procedures, closing procedures, stuff like that. And on the wall, we have a bunch of locks. We call it point of sale retail, right? Locks and other stuff for sale, mattress covers, things like that. And we also have these U-Haul hitches, these big heavy hitches. They probably weigh about 10, 15 pounds. And we have them on hooks on the wall. And as I'm talking to this co-manager, one of the hitches falls off the wall and slams in the ground. Now, that doesn't normally happen. The hooks that these are on are like curved upwards, so it would have had to go over those hooks, which is kind of strange. So that kind of spooked me out. And this is my first day. This was in like the first couple hours of me being there. That was the first thing that kind of tipped me off as to, this is kind of weird, So the facility, I'm going to show you kind of an overhead view here. That's the ghost picture. This is the facility. It's a big, big facility. It goes all the way back to there. Actually, it goes back a little bit further than that. The office is right here. It's this little building right here. And the crazy thing about it, the apartment would be right upstairs, right there. Office is down there. Now, this little patch of land right here, we used to park U-Hauls in the parking lot right here. I'm going to see if I can find a picture. Maybe I could do like a street view. Here we go. This is across the street. So, this is the front of the office. As you can see, like, we have U-Hauls parked right here in the little side parking lot. Well, right behind the U-Hauls, you'll see a fence. Behind the fence is a small graveyard, okay? Now, they put the fence up because someone had backed a U-Haul up into a headstone and knocked it over. That's why there's a fence there now. But this is the front of the office. This is what it used to be called. And the apartment was up here. So this was like the living room, this was the kitchen, and then there were some bedrooms and stuff back in the back. So this whole lock thing happened, and the hitch happened. See, we have things in the walls like that, and we had a hitch that was on one of these hooks, 2 of these hooks. And I thought it was weird. But that night, we cooked dinner and everything, had a little barbecue or something, and went to sleep. Around 2:30 in the morning, we both woke up. There was a huge perimeter alarm going off around the whole facility, and it was loud. It was really, really loud. And we got up, got dressed, we went out there, rode the golf cart around, didn't see anything crazy. We turned the alarm off, and cops showed up, fire department showed up. It turns out that it was a motion alarm, and it was coming from inside the office downstairs. So yeah, that was kind of weird. We thought it was weird, but at the same time, we just kind of passed it off as being, maybe it was just a faulty alarm or something, something crazy. Well, this happened every night for a week. And it got to the point where, the police were going to start charging us to come out if this kept happening. The weird thing is, this didn't happen before I showed up. That's kind of weird. So we ended up disabling the alarm because we're going to have to get charged next time they came out. And so, of course, it didn't happen after that, Well, by this time, I'm kind of freaked out. I'm kind of thinking something's going on here, I started to kind of pay closer attention to what was going on around me. Right here is where the apartment is. Let me see if I can zoom in closer to this. My bedroom would have been over here, like on this side, and my roommate's bedroom would have been over on that side. Now there's a little sort of fire escape coming down next to the building right here, the stairs. As you can see, kind of across the street, there's a house. Now this house is abandoned. There's nobody in this house. I believe that one's abandoned as well. And I think there is people in this little area right here. I think people do live there. I started to hear noises. Now, it came from below in the office down below us. And what it sounded like people were picking up boxes and shuffling them around and then putting them back. Now this is after we had disabled the alarms. So I started hearing this stuff going on downstairs. And I'm telling you, it wasn't just a soft noise. It was you could legitimately, it was loud enough to where I could hear it above the office. Something was being moved downstairs. Well, in the living room, we had a staircase that went down into the office. So I went down the staircase. This happened more than once. Opened the door, looked through the office. There's nothing there. It was completely empty, completely silent. It was just the weirdest thing. That happened for a little while, and then it stopped. The next thing, I started to hear 2 people talking, okay? And it was coming from this little parking area right here. This is where I parked my car. And it was coming from near the stairs and where I parked my car. And my bedroom was right here. And I heard there was 2 people having a conversation. And it was a man and a woman. And it was mumbling. So I could tell it was 2 different people, but I couldn't hear exactly what they were saying, And I was looking outside. There's nobody there. Even while I'm looking, I can still hear this conversation happening. But it was the best I could do it is if I put my hand in front of my mouth, it was it was like that, and then there'd be a woman's responding, but it was just as muffled, and I couldn't understand a damn word that was being said, and I never figured out where that was coming from, but it sounded like it was coming from right next to the office, or right next to my bedroom window. But I'm on the second story, so that's very hard to explain for me. We started having other things happen, like we had one of the doors to one of the bedrooms open up when it was closed and latched while we were in there playing cards. It opened, and we thought that was weird. We closed the door, and then it opened again, and then we closed the door, and nothing happened for like 5 minutes. And then I'm like, you know what? If something's here, open the door. And by God, the door opened on command. Sorry, my dog's like barking in the background. Sorry about that. So I swear to you that the door did open by itself on command. The door was latched. It was just the strangest freaking thing. And that's not the weirdest thing, okay? Time came where we were able to just have one manager there. My co-manager got sent to another store, so it was just me alone running this whole facility, and the whole apartment was mine to myself. You know, I had the apartment to myself. A very uncomfortable place to live. I would hear footsteps. I'd hear just weird noises like that. And one particular night, this is like the week that I left to go to, I was sent down to Florida, I think. I was in this bedroom here, and then across from the hall from me was a bathroom, okay? And I left the light on in the bathroom so that there was some light so I could see, like if I decided I need to go to the bathroom or whatever, there'd be some light in the hallway, but not too much so I couldn't sleep. And I kept my door closed, and I locked it because this is like a retail business, and it's kind of sketchy. It's not the best neighborhood, so I was very careful. Like I always, I have a weapon and everything, and I'm just very careful. I'm very paranoid, kind of a bit, of people like trying to rob the place and things like that. So I had the light on in the bathroom, I had my door closed, and I hear footsteps. So I perked up. I look over to the door, and swear to God, I saw a shadow through the crack in the door in the bottom. It looked like 2 feet walking past the door. I freaking grabbed my gun, opened the door, checked the whole apartment. There was nothing there. All right? There's just nothing there. I was freaked the hell out, closed the door. I said, just leave me alone. Leave me the hell alone. And I went back to bed, heard the same thing happen again, turned around, and I swear to God, it was the same thing. And you could hear the footsteps going past the door. And it sounded like it wasn't heavy footsteps. It was almost like maybe someone small. Like it could have been a child or something like that. But holy shit, let me tell you, that scared the living shit out of me. I got up, I locked I got dressed, got ready, locked the door. This was like 3 a.m. Locked the door, left. I went to Waffle House. I sat there till the morning, till like 9 o'clock in the morning. It was like my day off that day. And I went back, and I just, I spent as little time in that apartment as possible at that point. And I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Was I imagining things? And here's the kicker. So I ended up moving to Florida soon after this. And one of my area managers who actually moved into the facility after me, I asked him if he ever heard anything weird. And he says, "Oh, you heard that too?" So he was hearing boxes being shuffled around downstairs in the office. and it freaked him out too. Like, he thought someone was down there. So it wasn't just me that experienced that. It was the person right after me too experienced similar stuff. So, yeah, that's my story. That's the only real experience I've had with like an actual, or what I think could be like an actual haunted like house or place that I've lived in. I've had some other experiences. Maybe I'll kind of tell you about those someday. Because I did do like ghost hunting for a little bit, like in the early 2000s, and I have a couple experiences from that. So let me know what you think of this video, and if you like this sort of thing, maybe I'll make another one. But for now, keep it sleazy.